The usual. Can I get a chai latte, please?
Give me a medium coffee.
It's a lovely day at this waterfront cafe in North Vancouver, full of friends.
We have an ice cream at McDonald's, and there's a park up just a little up the hill there, and we go play.
Gathering to enjoy each other's company.
Stuff was growing, but the grass won't.
But these women, three moms, have one very unusual friendship.
Surprisingly quickly, we became really good friends.
We trust each other so well that we will talk with each other about anything.
We're all moms, and that, I think, creates an incredible bond.
I would have thought it'd be more busy on a Friday afternoon.
They were introduced by a group which connects volunteer mothers to low-income moms. This is more than a coffee clatch. It's a grassroots attempt to help Stacey Bonifant
Smells good, hey?
climb out of the poverty that's dogged her for years. She lives across town, Vancouver's downtrodden downtown east side, the proverbial wrong side of the tracks. She became a mom early on, married with 3 kids by age 25, her days filled with mommy and me classes and family dinners. But when her marriage fell apart, she got depressed, started boozing. In an effort to clean up, she handed her children over to her husband.
It was very difficult. I thought maybe I could get myself under control, stop drinking and partying and doing what I was doing. And if I had some time to work on myself, then everything would just fall into place. But I don't know if it was necessarily that's not the way it worked, for sure.
In fact, she lost contact with her family. She was homeless and addicted to crystal meth until she found herself pregnant and starting all over again. She credits her son Dragon for saving her life. Getting pregnant with him got her off drugs. A second son, Legend, soon followed. They are a handful.
Hi, cameraman.
2 growing boys in a tiny subsidized apartment where it's a daily struggle to put food on the table.
$1,435 is my taxable income.
What's that like?
Hard. A lot of food banks. Very frugal shopping. Very.
What kind of a system is this that he plays?
Determined as she is that things are going to be different this time around, it's not easy. Both her sons have special needs and require extra support.
Being a mom right now for me is stressful, financially, spatially. My children have some extra needs, especially my older ones, so just trying to maintain enough food, being able to do things, buy clothes, just everything in general just to survive is really hard on fixed income.
I don't even know my name. What do you think I should be called?
Pediatrician Barb Fitzgerald has seen too many women in Stacey's situation. After 2 decades of work with inner city kids, she realized these women needed more than her medical expertise.
I was just like, this is not what these families need. What they need is not high-priced medical care. What they need are actual necessities of life for their children. They can be great moms and their kids can be great kids, but not if they're looking for how am I going to feed them tonight. I just want to pair women with women for friendship and support and mentorship and see what happens. And that's how it all got started.
5 years ago, she hatched the idea of Mom2Mom, a group to help low-income mothers. Not help from doctors or social workers who might take kids away, but other moms.
How do you know how to bathe a child? Because you remember being bathed, you remember being read to. But if you grew up outside of your parents' care in a bunch of foster homes, you might not know that.
These mothers are all volunteers offering one thing, friendship. Maybe, if asked, the kind of practical guidance so many take for granted.
These families need more than just government support. They need people who really care and who just extend some compassion to them. And these are our neighbors. And it's such a Canadian thing. We have always done this for each other. You know, if we think back in history when people were pioneers on the prairies and they had a crop failure, there wasn't a government organization to come in and help. Neighbors help neighbors.
It just hooked me. I had to come.
Krislana Gregory and Madeline Curidan signed up, two professional women who didn't know each other, each with their own motivation for getting involved.
When I was young, we were really poor, and my mom was an immigrant to Canada. I used to pray my mom would have a friend, just because I wanted my mom to have a friend.
And the thought of someone not having that and dealing with, aside from the big issues that a lot of them deal with, just the day-to-day experience of trying to raise kids and cope with things when they're tough. Get away from you.
After a first meeting with Stacy, it was up to the three of them to figure out what she needed. They decided to meet twice a month, sometimes over lunch, sometimes at the art gallery. In less than a year, they forged an intimacy.
It's the only time. Every 2 weeks, I get this little block of anywhere from 2 to 4 hours where I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about money, how I'm going to get there, transit, who I have to meet or what I have to do. It's just all relaxed and there's no stress at all. It's just completely fun.
We're not alleviating anybody's poverty. Like, Stacy's in poverty, and I'm not changing that for her. But by creating a friendship and a relationship and a bit of a network of two of us that are there for her, and she's there for us too. We talk to her about our stuff too. That might, and I believe will, make some very profound differences for her and her sons.
It'd be really nice for you to be able to sit and look at your garden.
It is as simple as encouraging Stacy's dream of a big garden in her small yard.
You get that whole thing, so there's 4
That's
plants.
pretty good. Yeah.
Something she couldn't do on her own because she didn't have extra money or a car. For Stacy, this is a welcome respite from the moments of crisis that swirl around her every day.
My friends, we all live in the same situation. We're all kind of got our foot half in crisis mode all the time, whether it's financially or emotionally or some way. So to be able to talk to people who don't have those kinds of worries, that aren't so wrapped up in their own issues, that they can actually kind of, it's impartial and they can hear you, and it's nice to not feel like you're stressing someone out.
Because I think the bricks would be way nicer. She needs someone for her. You know, she takes care of the kids and takes care of even people in her community, but she needs to be able to relax and feel safe and be able to talk about things and not be judged and not have to worry about, you know, anything. And plus, she also enjoys. She enjoys art. She enjoys, you know, conversation. She doesn't get to do that. When you're poor, you don't get to do the things that we take for granted.
I'll race you.
But Mom2Mom also provides little extras. These bikes, for example, were donated, and Stacy especially appreciates a monthly grocery shopping trip paid for by Mom2Mom.
Totally helps, completely. It's amazing. And I get to buy things that I wouldn't, sometimes it's like, okay, I get to buy a few treat things, a few things that we wouldn't usually have.
It's vegetarian. Yes.
Stacy is starting to dream again. She's considering going back to school to become a therapist, encouraged by her new friends.
I think it's over here, actually. They're inspiring. Definitely makes my life richer by being able to have these relationships with Krislana and Madeline.
Has it helped you be a better mom?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How?
Because I get time for me. Because before Mom2Mom, I never made that time.
Good. That's why it's so small, right?
It is a pretty simple idea that the motherhood bond can transcend social class. Just maybe help close the gap between rich and poor. Duncan McHugh, CBC News, Vancouver.